Merci de nous recevoir chez vous. Vous regardez Entretien Vérité sur Africa Renaissance TV. Dans le cadre de cette nouvelle production spéciale et exclusive, nous recevons Chief Barrister NDONG Christopher, qui est secrétaire général du Mouvement pour la Renaissance du Cameroun. Et pour l'interviewer sur ce plateau, je suis avec lui, Bamseka. Bonsoir, lui.
Good evening, Romaric. A pleasure being on your platform for the first time. Good evening, followers and viewers of the African Renaissance TV. You are welcome to this engaging program called Entretien Verite with Chief Barrister Christopher NDONG, Secretary General of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement. Good evening, Barrister.
Good evening, Mr. Luis. Good evening, Romaric.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure talking to the audience of the African Renaissance TV for the very first time.
Barrister, you are Chief Administrator of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement. You oversee the daily operations of the party. Would you please share the current status of the party in comparison to the previous years?
Yes, you see, we are in an electoral year. That makes the difference between this year and other years that have passed. Since the creation of this party, the party has been waxing strong, and year in, year out, strategies develop. We change tactics, we change our way of operation in politics, and you see, we vulgarize the party to the grassroots. Everybody adheres to the party. The party started in 2012 and entered the first election, twin elections in 2013. We won one parliamentary seat and close to 29 councillors in two major towns, in Douala and Bafoussam. And those that we won in Yaoundé were seized by the administration. So we said we were just beginners. We'll turn a page and go on. After that, we have been working hard preparing for future elections. But you see, what came after that election was the senatorial election, which we didn't bother because we never had the required electorate to go in for that elections. Even though some other political parties went, knowing fully where they will fail in advance, they went, they shared them seats, that we all know. We left that elections, we now jumped into the presidential elections. And this presidential election took a dimension that, in fact, was really, really, really wild. And Cameroonians bought over, read the program of the party, saw in Maurice Kamto a veritable leader who can take us out of the doldrums. So we went into that election, and at the final stage, after compiling all records that came from the polling stations, Professor Maurice Kamto won the 2018 presidential elections. Because it is the habit of the government in place, they stole from Frundi his victory, they stole from Kamto his victory. Kamto would have been in parliament in 2013. They stole the victory here in Yaoundé, and now they have stolen the presidential election of 2018 in Yaoundé. So we say, okay, we shall go through peaceful manifestation. You see how the degrees are climbing. We went to the streets peacefully to claim our victory. Our militants were arrested arbitrarily, locked up without any clear charge, sentenced to prison, which they are suffering till today. A majority have come out because some sentences started with 2 months, 2 years, 3, 4, 5, 7 years. So those who are running 7 years sentence, which is trump up charges because of their political convictions, like you find Mr. Zambwe Pascal, who was in fact our secretary in charge of development and implantation of the party. He is locked up for 7 years for having said monies have been stolen during the African Nations Cup twice. They had them locked up. We said we won the elections. The government will not want to listen. Because they have the military, the state power, they decided to arbitrarily arrest our people and put in prison. Fogue, Professor Fogue too, is in that light. You get Mr. Bibu Misak,
yes.
Is in that light. These are people who did nothing, and they have been sentenced 7 years for nothing done. So we are saying that we are getting into the next election, which was the twin elections of 2020. All of us saw, the world saw, Cameroonians saw, other political parties saw that it was practically difficult for opposition political parties to go through the documents to compete for the twin elections. But anyhow, the party took a very strong stance in its National Council meeting. The National Council is one of the biggest assembly organ of the party that brings all our officials from the regions, both abroad, that is in the diaspora, and in Cameroon. We gathered here in the party headquarters and took a decision that the 2025 presidential elections will be a match which nobody, as of now, given the polls, the polls have been talking of CRM and its candidate favorable. So we are going to win this presidential election. Okay. That is what keeps the panic all over within the ruling government.
Chief Barrister Christopher, after having given the challenges of the party since 2013 till date, if you were to describe the status quo of the party in one word, what would you say?
I would say the party is up and strong, and our candidate will go in for the presidential election. Given the laws, the Cameroonian laws concerning election, nothing can stop Professor Maurice Kamto to be candidate in 2025 presidential election. It's not far. It's in 3 months and a half. We are waiting.
On Saturday, May 31st, 2025, the Cameroonian diaspora convened a significant meeting at Place de la République, that's in France, to mobilize themselves around President Maurice Kamto's candidacy in the upcoming 2025 elections. This event attracted substantial audience. In fact, according to figures we have, more than 80,000 Cameroonians answered present. The ongoing enthusiasm surrounding Professor Maurice Kamto is evident since 2018, as you rightly said, and warrants some exploration. What factors contribute to this sustained interest in his leadership?
Yes, one factor as simple as the program of the party. The program of the party is a catalyst of people adhering, coming, following, accepting the ideologies of the party led by Professor Maurice Kamto. You see, the diaspora are not people you think you can take them for granted. They are learned and educated people. This same program have gone around the world, all organizations of the world, all diplomatic missions. Some of them have congratulated us physically. We have always had some contacts through their invitation to talk about the policy and politics of this country. Professor Maurice Kamto and myself, we have attended 3/4 of these meetings, and we have always presented our program, program of governance. They have saluted it. The Cameroonians have saluted it. Even those who are not learned have asked, and it has been explained to them in all our meetings, public rallies. They understand it, they know this is the right man. And the man who is very straight, he does not waver. His actions are all straight. He is very difficult to this government because the government have tried in all its ways to bend down Professor Maurice Kamto, to turn on the left, turn on the right, not to be straight. He says, no, my policies are straight. So when you see this mammoth crowd in France, it is the diaspora, Cameroonian diaspora. Contrary to what the government said here, the first time the government said they'll cancel the rally. They look for every means to disturb our political activity. They said they'll cancel the meeting, but we went on steadfast. We knew it was not cancelled and sent out communiques. They came now, they said, all those who were gathered there, that affluence, shocked them. Because I will tell you, no African leader has pulled a crowd out of his country like Maurice Kamto have done in France. None. And I want to say that the people have come up because they are now seeing the change. The change must come. And if it's coming through Professor Maurice Kamto. The others have held their convention. They have put their programs out. But Cameroonians have not bought their programs. The ruling party has no program. Their program is the head of state. So, If they want to talk of any program, they should be talking on what they have done to Cameroonians. But look at the situation in Cameroon. Look at the living conditions of Cameroonians. See how people are suffering. No development, nothing. In fact, they have nothing to give after 43 years. That is why Maurice Kamto, with the few engagement he has made, he's not yet in government. He has put waters in, that is, the pipe-borne water, by digging these wells. He has done it in all the 10 regions. All the 10 regions. Localities have water. He's not yet in government. If he can do this, meaning, in fact, he can do more than that when it comes to government. You see, the people of the northern regions, they don't have water. But CRM have struggled and put water in some important places where people are enjoying the water that Maurice Kamto has given them. So you see some of those things. If we had the possibility of tarring roads, Professor Maurice Kamto will tar roads.
Talking about the program, Barrister Christopher, we know that time will come and we are well informed that the party is going to update the program. But can you give a summary of that program in 5 lines? You
see, our political program
in 5 lines
is
summary.
Embargoed. If you want me to talk, the one we had in 2018, fine. The update is embargoed.
Yes.
And Professor Maurice Kamto said it in France. He's not going to put out his political program until he returns to Cameroon.
Yes.
I don't have that ability to, that is, decipher the program Professor Maurice Kamto. That is our document. It is left embargoed until the appropriate time, which is not far from now. So there's no need for me talking. But I want to say that the Cameroon Renaissance movement from inception is a Republican party.
Alors,
being Republican,
oui, allez-y.
Being a Republican party, they respect the Republican values, which is the respect to the institutions of state, the respect to the administrative authorities that rule the state, and the respect for human rights. That is the values of a Republican party. Yes. But what do we see on the contrary, on the other side? They have no respect of the law, have no respect for persons, they have no respect for development, no respect for the defense of human rights.
Parlons justement du programme, puisque Maurice Kamto l'a dit sur la place de la République à Paris. C'est aux Camerounais d'ici d'avoir l'exclusivité sur ce programme. Mais on a vu durant ce meeting, Chief Barista, un meeting très couru et surtout cet appel lancé par le président Maurice Kamto, Camerounais de la diaspora, à revenir au pays pour être acteur majeur de cette élection présidentielle qui va se tenir. À quoi vise exactement un message comme celui-là, d'après vous?
I want to tell you that, thank you, Mr. Romaric. When the president went to Paris, he made the statement you just made that he is not going to unveil his program in France because he is not a president who shall be put tomorrow to be ruled by France. He will be ruling Cameroonians, not French people. Yes. And for him to take his program and go and launch it in France, it will mean he is under the control of the French government. No, he said he will come back to Cameroon. He will put out his political program for 2025, which will be his campaign message, so that Cameroonians will look at it and see if it's really somebody who is constant. They will now come behind him massively, as they are now, and then vote for him. It is a very rich package. It's a very intellectual designed package which Cameroonians will like because it puts everybody, the non-educated, the educated, the intellectuals of the country, everybody will have a space in that government which Professor Maurice Kamto will put in under the CRM. So when he said it, in fact, he maintained his word and he came back to the country. That is what shook the government. First, the government was frightened by the number of persons they saw out there. They said, we are saying this man is a small political party, but look at the diaspora. Diaspora came out in their numbers. So when he came back to the country, the message he wanted to give to the government in place was a reply to their saying that that group of people we saw in France are Congolese, they are Guinea Equatorians, they are Gabonese. He said no, he's coming back to his country and that he cannot pull even one of what he had there. He said, okay, Mr. President, you have the challenge and we are ready for you. Come over. The president landed in Douala.
Before we get to the challenge, Barrister Christopher, Chief Barrister Christopher, I want you to answer this question before you get there. Actually, immediately after the Giga meeting at Paris, we have two top officials of the ruling party. They had to do everything to minimize the significance of the turnout observed. However, following the announcements of Maurice Kamto's return to Douala, a considerable number of sympathizers, thousands of sympathizers came out, as you said, to welcome their leader, despite the existing blockades. This raises this question, does Maurice Kamto not represent a legitimate leader in Cameroon today, particularly considering the profound influence he exerts on the population?
Legitimacy is gotten from the people. And if you see the people coming out in that number, those are the people who are telling the world that the only leader we have for now that can meet up our aspiration is Professor Maurice Kamto. So that mammoth turnout is, in fact, a total agreement to everybody who is doubting around the world that Maurice Kamto is little known in his country. He is a small political party. Look at his score in the past presidential elections. We say no. Time has come when the people have been sufficiently educated. They know the lies that the government in place has been sending to international institutions around the world. But today, we too have used our diaspora, CRM diaspora, to go carry the true message and picture of Kamto in Cameroon. And that has been manifested in his return from there. This is the second come back from Europe to Douala. The first, that was when I was regional coordinator for Electoral. It was wonderful. It has doubled this second. Before this, there is one in the middle that he went to Douala. He wanted to talk to his people. The government sequestrated Maurice Kamto in a hotel. And Mani military marched him out of Douala to go. And the prefect gave him a ban not to come to Douala. That one, they decreed it that he should not step his feet in Douala. He said he is a Cameroonian. And of course, that is violating his rights. Maurice Kamto is a citizen of this country. Professor Maurice Kamto have a right to go everywhere in this nation. But what have we been seeing in the past? Because the government tells us that it's a heavy machine, can grind down everybody, Maurice Kamto's party is very popular. It's not only popular in terms of sympathizers. It's popular in terms of real militants, card-carrying militants. We have them in their millions, more than 10 million card-carrying Cameroonians of the CRM. Let me tell you, more than we have the statistics. And this statistics gotten from the number of cards that people pay. We don't give for free. They pay their card. It is 1,000 to any amount depending on your level, what you think you can do for the party to grow. So we have printed more than 10 million cards. Let me tell you, those are militants.
10 million cards.
10 million cards. Get the statistics from the printing house. We have it. I'm the Secretary General. I'm the one who sent in all the list. From the 10 regions, all the subdivisions, people have cards. In the diaspora, they have cards. We have them in 10 of millions.
Alors, Barista, lorsqu'on regarde cette popularité, cette ferveur et surtout cette force que représente Maurice Kamto aujourd'hui auprès des populations, on peut demander sur quoi repose effectivement cette crédibilité dont Maurice Kamto jouit auprès du peuple aujourd'hui.
Le professeur Maurice Kamto, je vais vous dire,
oui,
c'est un homme d'État qui a montré toute sa vie, il est quelqu'un pour le peuple.
Oui.
Il a œuvré pour faire en sorte que le peuple soit à l'aise. Le professeur Maurice Kamto est un professeur. Il a enseigné même 3/4 de tous 7 membres du gouvernement que tu vois là. Il les a enseignés. La population qui court derrière le professeur Maurice Kamto les ont enseignés. En droit, en sciences politiques, etc. À un manière ou un autre, beaucoup de Camerounais ont passé par le professeur Maurice Kamto. Regardez, le pays est dans un impasse avec le Nigeria. C'est le professeur Maurice Kamto qui est venu sortir le Cameroun dans ce problème. Il a gagné le procès.
Oui,
Ce procès qui était d'abord bafoué par les premières personnes que l'État avait mis. Parce qu'ils ont là-bas enrôlé les procès, mais ça n'a pas tenu. Donc, on a enlevé de rôle et on a dit d'aller refaire. Et là, ils cherchaient les experts. Voyez-vous que le gouvernement n'a pas vraiment confiance à ses citoyens. Maurice Kamto est là. C'est plutôt un cabinet étranger qui dit, mais vous avez quelqu'un qui nous dépasse même dans notre pays, c'est lui qui est notre leader ici en matière de droit international. Vous le laissez pour venir nous demander quoi? Bon, dis-lui, c'est notre patron. Il va. Voilà comment le professeur Maurice Kamto a été pris. Et il a sauvé le Cameroun. Celui-là, tous les membres du gouvernement connaissent. Ils ne peuvent pas nier. Le problème qui se passe maintenant, c'est parce que le professeur Maurice Kamto avait venu donner son ton. Je ne veux pas travailler avec les gens qui étaient là avant. Il a fait son équipe. Voilà, son problème commence avec certains membres du gouvernement. Bon, il a gagné le Bakassi. Une fois qu'il est tourné, démissionné du gouvernement, et après, maintenant, il est un opposant. Dans le MSC, tout le monde maintenant prend sous lui. Les gens là ne réclament rien à Maurice Kamto. Il dit qu'il a volé 14 milliards. Mais par après, les Camerounais étaient curieux pour comprendre et voir ces procès, les preuves et tout ça là, ça s'est tombé. Quand on compare ça avec ceux qui sont au gouvernement, qui détournent des milliards, on regarde. On choisit les têtes qui ne sont pas bien, on casse, on met en prison. Ceux-là qui restent là-bas, c'est des chéris. Mais ils savent que la personne Maurice Kamto, et Maurice Kamto avait commencé à une base très solide en tant qu'un intellectuel. Qu'est-ce qu'il a fait en politique? On dirait que Maurice Kamto est naïf en politique, il peut être bon en droit, mais pas en politique. Mais il les a démontré qu'il est professeur de tout temps. Il a commencé par quoi? Quand je me rappelle, je suis le tout premier secrétaire général de ce parti. Le professeur Maurice Kamto a dit le pouvoir revient au peuple souverain. Je ne comprenais pas avant. Mais c'est quand il a dit concentrez-nous d'éduquer les militants. Voilà notre pilier. Nous avons commencé avec 5 piliers. Et ces 5 piliers, tout le monde se trouve dedans, actif. C'est-à-dire, s'il prend le pouvoir, il applique ça. Rien que ça. Tout le monde va trouver son compte. Voilà pourquoi les gens veulent ce genre de personnes. Personne n'a pas produit ce genre de programme. SDF avait tenté à l'époque, ils ont fait son mieux. Maintenant, c'est le temps du MSC. Je vous dis, MSC en poupe. Parce que le programme politique, on ne cherche rien derrière le professeur Maurice Kamto. Il est brillant, oui. Oui, c'est bon. Mais il propose quelque chose que la population a besoin. Et ils ont lu. Ils sont intéressés. Ils veulent qu'on applique ça. Si le système-ci, je vous dis, là c'est quelque chose que je donne comme mon opinion. Si le système-ci était un système, c'est-à-dire le gouvernement en place était un gouvernement qui travaille pour le peuple, il devait même tricher le programme parce que le programme est dehors. C'est partout. Il pouvait tricher, commencer à implémenter ces programmes. Et tu vois, maintenant, il pouvait nous bloquer en appliquant ces programmes. Mais il voit quelque chose qui est bon. Il ne fait rien. Et il nous bloque de ne pas monter au pouvoir, appliquer notre programme. Les Camerounais ont dit non. Trop, c'est trop. Voyez-vous pourquoi les autres partis politiques, j'ai dit, tout le monde sait où il était né. C'est-à-dire les partis politiques. Tu as ton parti politique, tu sais comment tes partis politiques étaient nés. C'est ça le problème. Parce que avant la naissance de votre parti politique, vous avez déjà compromettre. Et là, maintenant, tu ne peux pas retirer. Parce que là, vous êtes bloqué. Voilà, le MSC est né officiellement, légalement, et on ne traite rien avec qui que ce soit. Nous sommes directs et on parle la vérité. La vérité, rien que la vérité.
Back to Maurice Kamto again. His rights were infringed upon following his return from France. Thus, he was already in Cameroon because he encountered significant obstacles in conducting his working session in the headquarters of the party. Again, he was denied the opportunity to meet with his sympathizers who came out in their numbers to welcome him. And worst of all, he was compelled by government authorities to quit the city of Douala. How did you perceive the situation? As Secretary General and as a legal man?
I'm not a fanatic. I'm the Secretary General of the party, a convinced Secretary General of this party. One, I perceive all of those actions you have read out to, in fact, the violation of the rights of a human being, a Cameroonian, Professor Maurice Kamto. He is a Cameroonian like any other Cameroonian and must go anywhere in this country, do the things that he does. If he does it in respect of the law, he is not supposed to be treated the way he was treated. Two, the Cameroon Renaissance movement, which he heads, is a legalized political party. At no instance, at this moment, until further, I have never heard that that party has been banned. Then, why would they perturb the activities of a political party? Number three, to sequestrate somebody without any crime. Somebody, a Cameroonian, a leader of a political party, one of the biggest, second in the Sebdo presidential election declaration, is coming to Douala from abroad. They block him in his hotel. It's an abuse of his right. Like somebody asked me, he said, don't you know they were taking his security? Which security? There is no security when it comes to that incident in Douala. There was no security. On the contrary, the security were preventing him from going to talk with his local officials. It is unheard of. It is unheard of. The head of state of this country does not go down to talk to the people. It is his right. Nobody has complained. Kamto wants to talk to his people, they block him. The other political leaders, they go talking to their people, they don't block them. After they block Kamto, violating his right to go and hold a meeting with the local officials of the party in Douala, the next week, the Minister of Justice was holding a meeting in the ministry. If we have to put the two on the table, who is violating and abusing what? It is the government. One thing I have to talk to the officers in charge of, they say they only obey orders, they only obey orders. At no one stage you should be obeying even orders that are contrary to the law. Yes. Why would they come down with heavy artillery, water tanks, guns, machine, when the population wanted to come and hear, only to hear a message from their leader? They did not come to stop the population from not operating. And of course, that date is a Sunday. It is a Sunday where most activities in this country, in Douala, is closed down, waiting to start on Monday. Why do you block somebody not to see his militants? I've said it is the third time they have done it to him in Douala. They are afraid because the series of lies they are telling the national international opinion about Maurice Kamto and his party is being revealed by the practical actions you see on the field. They are afraid because that will give excessive popularity. The presidential election is in 3.5 months. So that movement, that fact to hold even the rally in abroad was to tell the colonial masters around the world that Professor Maurice Kamto is a man of the period. And they cannot stop him. And because that is where I said I came to understand what they call power is sovereign. The sovereign power is with the people. And once the people stand up for you, nothing can stop it. Let the government know that the people will stand up for Kamto. Nothing will stop it. The machination they are trying to do, we have been hearing things left and right, coalitions left and right. All of that is only to break Maurice Kamto's popularity. But we say, we walk openly. There's nothing we hide. They have attacked us. They say, oh, we want to cause war. We had guns hidden somewhere. All of that just lies. But nothing can happen because all what they say, they have no proof. The more they do it, the more Professor Maurice Kamto is popular. People begin to trigger to say, but what is in that Maurice Kamto? Professor Maurice Kamto, who is he? That's how many people, when they come in, they discover it, they say, we're not going out again. That is the situation. And another curious aspect is that why will government, opposition political leaders, and some people eating fat within the government be hanging on Maurice Kamto? Let them know that even the military is seeing The police is seeing. The gendarmerie is seeing. Everybody is seeing. Citizens are seeing. The law for Maurice Kamto is non-reversible until after the presidential elections. It shall continue to.
Okay.
He will be president.
For want of time, Chief Barrister Christopher Ndong, permit us to talk about Elecam now. What is your assessment of the actions taken by Elections Cameroon, which initially reported the removal of 120,000 Cameroonians from the electoral register due to lack of fingerprints, only to reverse the situation by reinstating them on the list due to pressure given to them by Maurice Kamto? What are the motivations behind these actions from the electoral body, and what assurance can be provided that these individuals were indeed or will indeed remain reinstated in the electoral register?
Now, let me tell you, Cameroonians are losing confidence. They have lost confidence in Elecam. Elecam in the first step steal election in favor of the ruling class. In doing what? They will make procès verbal and divide to opposition political in every polling station, but they go up with their own and change it, imitate people's signature to come with fake ballot reports from the polling station. Now, you saw what happened. They produced a list of polling papers at the Constitutional Council. When we brought the one that came from the polling station, meaning Elecam took his own, which is a replica of this one, the same thing. When we compared some few, we discovered that the results changed. And all of that was done by Elecam. So that is how people lost confidence in Elecam. Number two, Elecam has been refusing people from registering, doing their best to frustrate Cameroonians for registration. If not of the insistent and continuous insistence of Professor Maurice Kamto, CRM militants and all of that, pushing Elecam to the wall, then you find this little registration coming up. Honestly, Elecam is fighting and doing everything to violate the law. Number three, Elecam have not published the national list. That one is viral. Everybody knows they have not done it because they fear that if they publish the national list, we will see the irregularities there and then take them to task. Because somebody would have died long ago and I won't remove his name. But they keep calculating to vote for that person who is dead. That's the fraud they are trying to manage. Elecam is working hand in toe with the security authorities that produce ID cards in private homes. Go to private homes and begin to make a registration. It's not correct. Those are the things we see Elecam's hand in it. Elecam, we seized Elecam concerning the publication of the national list. Elecam never answered us. We now said, okay, let's go to the authority concerned, went to the Constitutional Council. They too said they are incompetent.
La Cour d'appel aussi.
Elecam is incompetent to reply us.
Conseil constitutionnel.
Incompetent. The Constitutional Council incompetent.
La Cour d'appel aussi.
To reply us. The Court of Appeal incompetent. And even if another Cameroonian from the north seized the High Court on Fundi, he too says incompetent. Then we come to a situation where institutions of this country are all incompetent. Then who is then competent? That is where Elecam has its problems.
Vous avez le sentiment que c'est toute une machination qui est mise sur pied pour que les revendications ne prospèrent pas en ce qui concerne la publication de la liste électorale nationale?
C'est une machine même mise sur pied. Je vous assure. Puisqu'il fait en complicité. L'élection, l'administration est impliquée.
Oui.
Mais à chaque fois, l'administration se mêle pour dissuader la population d'inscrire sur la liste électorale. Voilà. Et les meetings des partis politiques, donc disons pour le MRC,
oui,
en majorité, étaient interdits.
Oui.
Ça, c'est leur rôle. Et Elecam, pour lui, il est là pour enlever les noms qui sont déjà inscrits. On avait déposé plainte contre Elecam. Elecam a dit ils vont restituer les noms de cette...
Plus de 200 000 personnes, oui.
Plus de 200 000 personnes.
Oui.
Jusqu'aujourd'hui, ils n'ont pas fait. Parce qu'ils n'ont pas amené la preuve pour montrer qu'il a réintégré les 200 000 personnes.
Mais Chief Barrister, est-ce que cela devrait décourager les gens à aller massivement s'inscrire sur la liste électorale? Est-ce que les gens ne devraient pas continuer de s'inscrire, même quitte à exploser le compteur?
C'est un nouveau vent.
Oui.
Le nouveau vent d'éducation de la masse. Ils mettent ça à côté. Les gens s'inscrivent. Oui. Jusqu'aujourd'hui, quand ils parlent, ils sont alignés. Avant-hier, j'étais à Mokolo. C'est la pluie qui a fait. Les gens venaient, ils s'inscrivaient.
Oui.
Après cette pluie que j'ai quittée, mais les gens sont venus encore. L'inscription est... Mais je vois aussi, bon, pour dire ne pas condamner quelqu'un totalement, elle est quand même des nouveaux kits. Mais à quel moment il vient avec les nouveaux kits? Les nouveaux kits viennent maintenant et les gens sont découragés. Mais nous sommes sur le terrain en train de les dire d'aller s'inscrire.
Tout à fait.
Il y a des nouvelles kits. J'ai vu des nouveaux kits qui sort les papiers et on inscrit les militants. Donc, par là, je fais un appel à tous les Camerounais, au pays ou à l'étranger,
Oui.
de s'inscrire sur la liste électorale, puisque c'est ça qu'on va prendre pour gagner les élections de 2025.
As you said, Chief Barrister Christopher Ndong, it looks like you have exhausted all the possibilities of pushing ELECAM to publish the national electoral list, I mean to say. So what are the strategies that the CRM is putting in place to encounter fraud in the upcoming...
We are not tired because there is still time. In the law, the electoral code says there are pre-litigation stages. The day they will convene the electorate, will file all those actions again. At that point, when they said they were incompetent, they shall be competent now. That is, we shall file the action saying that Electoral has not published the national list. We'll see what the Constitutional Council will tell us again, that they are incompetent to talk on that. We shall file the fact that they have removed 2,000 militants on the list. We have the proof. We shall prove it, and it will cost them to put it. We shall file again and again. We are not tired. In as much as they violate the law, ELECAM, administration, Conseil constitutionnel, all of, we shall keep crying that the laws have been violated. These structures who are in collusion with ELECAM and government and territorial administration, all of that, honestly, there are people fighting to make sure the Cameroon Renaissance movement, the leader, Professor Maurice Kamto, is not going to be validated. We say no, he will be validated. The laws in place give Maurice Kamto the chance to be candidate, and he will be presidential candidate. At the end, he will take up the victory. He will be the next Czech Republic president. So there's nothing to argue about that. They should be fidgeting and fighting and trying to do what they want to do. The people are ready. People are ready.
Yes.
When I say ready, they are ready. Ready in the fact that they must make sure the law is not violated. If the law is violated, the people will take their stance. If the people say they violate the law, okay, we'll go and sleep. We'll go and sleep. If they violate the law, if it hurts them, we shall tell them it will not work. By not getting to power, we'll tell them here, we must fix this here. There is no way, there are no two ways. But if they do it within the law, we'll clap for them and greet them the rule. No problem. Professor Maurice Kamto have said it. If any candidate beats him in any election, he will say yes. Even the laws they are trying to place, if they beat him in arguments with the laws, he will bow down. But if it is done not in the spirit of the law, there is no way we'll accept it. No way.
Talking about ELECAM again, they
Yes.
recently signed a convention with the United Nations. It had to require a forceful and persistent denunciation from Professor Maurice Kamto again for certain elements of that agreement to be disclosed. What are the reasons behind the covert nature or the obscure nature of this signing, and what implications does it carry?
Now, I want to inform the public that, in fact, that this convention between ELECAM and the government is a diabolic act.
Why?
A diabolic act.
Why?
Why? Because this thing started in 2019. When we came out from the presidential election, their talk started, and the first signing was during that period. They signed it from there to 2027, meaning it had to cover, after the presidential election, it covers the council and parliamentary election, they will cover presidential election, and they will jump into the senatorial
Elections.
or the parliamentary and legislative again, because the president of the republic have extended their mandate. So you see, but now, what is wrong about that operation is that you cannot be talking of election in a country without the political actors. You are signing with ELECAM. Is ELECAM candidate?
No.
is Elecam a candidate to the presidential election, council, municipal, and that election? Why will he be signing a convention alone with the United Nations? The United Nations should know that in order to sign anything concerning elections in this country, one, political parties must be involved.
Yes.
Elecam must be involved. The government of Cameroon must be involved. The civil society of Cameroon must be involved. The clergies should be put so that the agreement is made in conformity with everybody. Once it is signed, we know that it is what has to be applied, even though the system in place does not respect any law. Even their own laws, they fail to respect. Their own Congress, they don't hold. They respect their own, they disrespect their own laws. The laws of the land, they are disrespecting. Look at what they are singing all over. Oh, Manda Imperative, Kamto can never be. Because it is fake. Cameroonians don't listen to it. Kamto will be candidate. Come rain, come shine, he will be candidate. And we are calling on all of you to vote the CRM party.
Alors, justement, le 23 juin 2025, le professeur Maurice Kamto, dans une sortie sur sa page Facebook officielle, attire l'attention de l'opinion nationale sur le rôle des Nations Unies pour l'élection présidentielle qui va se tenir au Cameroun dans quelques jours. Et aujourd'hui, la question qu'on est en droit de se poser, c'est comment les Nations Unies parviennent à signer une convention avec Elections Cameroun sans tenir compte, par exemple, de toutes les revendications qui ont été portées à l'attention même de ces mêmes Nations Unies par les acteurs politiques au Cameroun, notamment de l'opposition, qui ont travaillé sur la proposition d'un code électoral consensuel, comme l'avait demandé Elections Cameroun au sorti de l'élection de 2018, qu'il fallait revoir le code électoral. Les acteurs politiques ont travaillé dessus sans tenir compte du fait, par exemple, que les enfants, les femmes, les personnes handicapées se soient naturellement inscrits sur les listes électorales sans restriction aucune, sans tenir compte également de la non-publication de la liste électorale nationale, telle que réclamait Elections Cameroun et son directeur général. Comment les Nations Unies peuvent signer une telle convention en écartant même, à minima, les acteurs qui ne prendront pas à cette élection?
C'est de mauvaise foi. Les gens là ont de mauvaise foi.
Et donc la dénonciation du professeur
maintenant
est normale.
Ils oublient, mais ils savent, ils n'ont pas oublié.
Oui.
Ils doivent connaître que le professeur Maurice Kamto a travaillé autour des institutions des Nations Unies, connaît comment ils fonctionnent. Donc ces actes que la Nations Unies avec Elecam ont fait est en violation de la loi interne et internationale. C'est vrai que Elecam peut appeler l'ONU pour s'intéresser à une période d'élection et l'ONU accepte, mais pour aller signer les conventions, l'ONU ne devait pas faire ça avec Elecam seul.
Oui.
Il y a quelque chose qui cache. Donc l'ONU est complice. Et en tant que juriste international, le professeur Maurice Kamto a vu que mais ça c'est quoi? Vous avez vu les sorties du professeur Maurice Kamto. C'est ça qui a fait que précipitamment ils ont fait aller sortir la deuxième signature. Mais le professeur Maurice Kamto, il connaît. Il connaît que les gens sont en train de tripoter quelque chose. C'est pour ça qu'il dénonce. C'est sa dénonciation qui a conduit à la deuxième qu'on a publiée.
Oui.
Bon, le prof a sorti certains éléments par rapport à cette copinage entre Elecam et les Nations Unies. C'est contre la volonté du peuple camerounais. Cette deal est contre le peuple camerounais. Vous comprenez?
Oui.
Regardez même la France. Un général quitte de son pays, vient ici dans notre pays. Pour venir faire quoi? Et en même temps, il dit qu'il ne se gère pas dans nos choses internes. Le général ne choisit pas une autre période dans l'année. Il choisit seulement la période des élections. C'est pour vous dire qu'il y a quelque chose qui se prépare, qu'on cache aux Camerounais. Ça, c'est un. Les deux, Nations Unies et Elecam, c'est la deuxième. Troisième, c'est le mandat impératif, machin. Quatrième, il ne veut pas la tête de Maurice Kamto, mais le peuple l'a choisi.
Oui.
Et pour vous dire, la Nation Unie va faire ce qu'il fait, c'est son problème là-bas. Et Elecam continue à faire ce qu'il fait, c'est son problème là-bas. Mais le MSC et le professeur Maurice Kamto respectent la loi, respectent la procédure, respectent tout. Mais on va dénoncer de temps en temps pour que, au fur et à mesure qu'on dénonce, ça tire les militants vers le MRC. Vous demandez quant à quoi pour donner aux gens. Voilà, c'est des choses comme ça.
Oui.
Les autres leaders voient et ne parlent pas. Ils nous plombent dans l'obscurité. Mais quand on sort ça en journée, il dit que voilà ce qu'on fait. Regarde ce qu'il était en train de préparer. Et il questionne.
C'est certainement peut-être parce que...
Il questionne. Les Nations Unies a envoyé les représentants ici pour venir. Quand il vient, il pas rester au palais présidentiel. Et manger là-bas, boire les bons whisky, passer, va me faire des rapports. Parfois, tu lis les rapports là et nous qui sommes sur le terrain, on dit, mais les gens, inutile pour qu'ils viennent. Ils viennent faire quoi? La Nation Unie n'a pas dénoncé un faux Transparency International jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Plutôt, il valide les résultats de 2018. Ce n'est pas sérieux. La Nations Unies sait qu'on avait porté plainte auprès de l'Union africaine.
Oui.
Jusqu'à aujourd'hui. Pas d'issue de cette protestation.
Oui.
La Nation Unie n'est pas sérieux. Maintenant, la nation, j'ai entendu le truc des banques mondiales, on continue à donner l'argent à ce régime qui est déjà fini. Ils ne sont pas sérieux. C'est tout un package de gens qui font les deals, mais cette fois-ci, ils ont trouvé Maurice Kamto qui connaît les opérations. Tout ce qu'il fait, Kamto voit déjà là où il part. Oui. Et là, il bloque, il dénonce. C'est ça qui les fait mal. Kamto était quelqu'un, quand il ne manque pas sur quelqu'un, le professeur Maurice Kamto ne manque pas sur quelqu'un, il porte seulement la lumière auprès du peuple camerounais et le peuple camerounais voit comparer parce qu'il y a des intellectuels au Cameroun et hors Cameroun. Donc ne pense pas que quand Kamto parle, c'est parce qu'il parle pour nuire le gouvernement. Non. Faire des choses, faire le business bien, mais ça doit être aux intérêts des peuples camerounais.
Du peuple camerounais, effectivement. Alors, d'ici peu, Chief Barrister Christopher Ndong, le corps électoral sera convoqué pour l'élection présidentielle. Est-ce qu'à date, le MRC est prêt à investir Maurice Kamto comme son candidat et à le porter à la tête du pays?
I want to remind you, Mr. Romaric, that the Cameroon Renaissance movement gave their mandate. Kamto came and solicited the mandate from his militants. The National Council sat, gave Maurice Kamto the mandate, one, to choose between the three conditions for presidential elections and see which is suitable to him and go in. We are behind you. We have no problem. So the ball is in the court of Maurice Kamto to choose which parameter he will use on the three conditions to go in for presidential elections. All three is favorable to Maurice Kamto and CRM. But the leader should choose his position to go in. So that is the position we are waiting. We, militants of Cameroon Renaissance Movement, Cameroonians and the diaspora, they are waiting to see through which mechanism Kamto will become presidential candidate. That is what is worrying the government in place. Kamto have not spoken. He does not talk him. Kamto have never insulted anybody in this republic, not even the head of state. Not even attacking him left and right. Not even the CPD and militants who go on television and insult Kamto left and right. But Kamto has done one thing which is clear. And Cameroonians, only them popularizes Kamto. Them again turn and ask, why is Kamto popular? You go on television, the subject is not Kamto, but they will leave the subjects and start talking about Professor Maurice Kamto. Kamto has put them in another political sphere where he takes things from one angle. He starts hitting it from there. While the main thing is in the center, before you arrive, you find yourself talking every day in out about Professor Maurice Kamto. Cameroonians are curious. Why this hatred on that man? That means government want to hide something good from them. That's why people are coming. They are coming. I'm not telling a lie. Every Saturday, Sunday, every day on news, Maurice Kamto, CRM. Are you not making publicity for us? Why are you complaining? If they allowed Maurice Kamto in Douala enter, see his militant, come here back, will it be any problem? No. Why are they afraid? C'est un petit parti politique. Oui, nous sommes petits, mais nous faisons les choses grandes et nous respectons tout le monde. On obéit à la loi. Il n'y a rien qu'on fait qui est mauvais. Mais sauf que les autres ne veulent pas qu'il y ait alternance. Alternance, il y aura. Alternance, c'est Maurice Kamto. Alternance, c'est lui qui va être président de cette république. il monte, il descend, les peuples camerounais ont décidé que Maurice Kamto serait la prochaine présidente. Donc, une fois, je suis en train d'appeler les autres opposants, joignez au MRC, on fait bloc, la force. Professeur Maurice Kamto avait dit que l'APC est là, entrez seulement dedans, tu auras ta place. Les Camerounais vont avoir leur place. Ne fais pas, tu peux pas encore voir quelqu'un qui a régné plus de 43 ans. Il n'y a rien donné au pays. Et on sait comment on va s'en sortir dans nos problèmes. Le pays est tellement endetté. Même quand on lutte comme ça pour prendre le pays, c'est pour payer des dettes, mes frères et sœurs. Mais au lieu qu'on ajoute les dettes là, vraiment on les enlève et on voit comment négocier, payer nos dettes et arranger nos pays. Faire des routes, l'eau, l'électricité. C'est tout ce qu'on demande que vous fassiez cette année. Kamto a dit à Paris, si quelque chose arrive qui n'est pas candidat, c'est que c'est le peuple camerounais qui ont échoué. Si il arrive qu'il gagne encore, on prend le peuple, c'est eux qui ont échoué. Donc c'est un message très clair. Donc pour dire que les Camerounais venez ensemble, on va aller le jour-là battre d'inscrire, de voter, 3, de défendre le vote et prendre votre PV et on proclame le résultat et on part au pouvoir. Vous allez voir le changement dans ce pays.
Before we end the program, I want to ask this question by Chief Barrister Christophe Ando. Recently, we observed your pictures on social media establishing the Divisional Bureau of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement in the Northwest region. Given the persistent ongoing crisis in the Northwest and Southwest regions, please, would you provide an assessment of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement in these regions?
Thank you very much. This question is very important. I'm talking now to my brothers and sisters of the Anglophone regions who are in crisis period. In 2016, Professor Maurice Kamto was in Bamenda. The Bamenda people are hearing me. There was a mammoth rally there. At that time, the chairman of the Social Democratic Front, who is late now, was alive. Professor Maurice Kamto, as a Republican, sent me to him to go and tell him he cannot enter a territory like that of the Northwest where he is the kingpin in politics without telling him that he too is struggling to try to see how he can fit in that region. And when I informed the chairman, he saw it, he said, okay, he has seen it, and I left. But nobody from the SDA came to that rally, but the rally was compact. People, that day, Professor Maurice came to deliver his message, and the party was structured, well structured. People don't come when they don't know something. So from all 7 divisions, they were present, represented. There were placards all over. So Kamto have gone to the Northwest. From that 2016 till today, he has not gone there. We all know it is because of security challenges. In the Southwest, the same. But what I want to tell Cameroonians of these 2 regions, the CRM is implanted in the Northwest perfectly. It is because the mandate of those people expired. So we have to renew it. And some people became inactive because they ran away because of insecurity. I went to the Southwest last weekend. I was there. I went and met the divisional officer in his office. He received me very well and said, well, it's pluralism, political pluralism. He cannot stop a party legalized not to hold it. So he gave us the orders to go and that he will provide security around us. That's what happened. And I installed my people. They were happy and I came out. Now, we have to go now to Momo, Bui, Ndonga Mantung, Wum, my own area, which is very active. There it is active. 20 May, they march past there. The authorities in Wum know. They know that. Population of Wum know that. So when people sit and say, they say, you know, we are all over in the Northwest. The problem is that our militants cannot come out, hold a public meeting because of insecurity. Insecurity on both sides. Both government and the fighters. In the Southwest, we are implanted. I have personally done implantation in Idi now.
To Southwest.
Southwest.
Yes.
Idi now. Limbe 1, Limbe 2, Limbe 3, Tiko, Boya Roya, Boya Oban. The only place we have not entered, but we are doing groundwork is Moyoka because of the security challenges too. But militants are there. They are begging that we should come and install them. We are asking them for a date that will be fine. So Northwest and Southwest, the CRM is well implanted. But the problem is that we cannot take our public activities. We hold meetings. We hold meetings. I go to Boya. Every month I'm in Boya. And I hold meetings in Boya. The militants are there. You see them all over, calling on militants in the markets all over. In all of these towns I've called for you. In the Southwest. We are in Boya town, in Bongo Square. We're in the Sase. We are down there in Buku. We go down to Limbe, my 4. Limbe 1, Limbe 2, Limbe 3. I've told you. On social media, it is shown how we go calling on people to register. The Southwest population is very aware. I mean, the FACO population is very aware because that is FACO division. Coming now to Meme, I installed Meme. They want to march past on 20 May. It shocked the administration. They cut CRM. Long line of people filled with party gadgets, not any other. Long line, I have the pictures. The administration said they will not march past. They called me and said, leave it. Just go around and see someone and refresh yourself. People will see you and know that the party is there. And they have been influenced like this in Meme. I installed Kupe Maninguba.
Yes.
Mr. Ndong is there. He has implanted Bangem, he has implanted Buba 1 and 2, he has implanted Guti, he has implanted Tombe Central. He's continuing. As I'm telling you, with this period, the CRM is acting all over.
Donc, sur tous ces pôles,
you have people who come and said, even the administration, they say, well, in fact, it was only CPDM because they have the frightfulness of the insecurity has made that only CPDM is very free to move. It's to tell you all about that. But we are penetrating. We are going underground. Right. Then I was in Manu. I've implanted a Manu divisional bureau. They are now working. Manfred Central will be put up very soon. They gave a chronogram of their program. They will go to Akwaya. They will go to Oyumojok. They will go to, they know their places there. It is 4 subdivisions. They have to implant and then plant down there. Yes. I have said the people are there, but it's just that we should revive so that people take up courage to see, and then the workings of the party. I told you, in Manu, they told us that CPD is finished. That their one-man thing is ended. They called on me, said, I said, no. They can't let them do their business. And I met the DO. I spoke to him. He said, go and do your meeting. We did it. It's not everybody that hates us. It's a few people in government that are fitting fat, stealing, being corrupt, and all of that. They are struggling to do things wrong. It is not correct. They should allow us. We are a political party, and our activities. They tend and tell us, mais ils sont on ne les voit pas quand il n'y a pas élection. But we work all day round, all year round, all month round.
Merci beaucoup, Chief Barista. C'est ici qu'on va mettre un thème à cet entretien. Mais on serait sorti de cette émission sans vous laisser un dernier mot. On est à quelques semaines, disons, aujourd'hui, de la convocation du corps électoral pour l'élection présidentielle. Les Camerounais doivent massivement continuer à s'inscrire sur les listes électorales. Est-ce que vous avez un mot à l'endroit de tous ces Camerounais qui nous regardent aujourd'hui?
Dear Cameroonians, I think that yesterday, the ruling class they were insulting us. No, c'est le temps du président. C'est le temps du président. It is having a boomerang effect now. Their president is not talking. It is le temps du président. They are not holding their Congress. Le temps du président. So le temps du président est arrivé aussi. Et là, nous allons bénéficier le temps du président. Nous attendons. D'ici peu, on va convoquer le corps électoral. Soyez soudés, soyez forts. Inscrivez-vous, il y a encore le temps. Inscrivez-vous sur la liste électorale. Prends le récépissé. Donc, allez inscrire. La carte d'identité est périmée ou pas. Allez, on va vous inscrire. Et tu prends le récépissé. Le jour J, on va vous montrer que Kamto est candidat de la présidence. Et on va vous montrer notre bulletin. Allez vous tous voter le MRC. Kamto prend le pouvoir, ton problème est résolu. Dear Cameroonians, please, Cameroonians in Cameroon and the diaspora, register massively. I know you people have done it in your majority, but there are some few who are being frustrated. Do everything to register. Get ready. On that day, you will vote Maurice Kamto. And I want to end up by telling Mr. Romaric and Mr. Luis and the world that the candidature of Kamto is suffering from no problem. The law is for Kamto. Put the law together. Kamto will be candidate. So, Cameroonians, rest assured, Professor Maurice Kamto will be a candidate. And when you shall hear the news. The day you hear that Kamto is presidential candidate, that is the day you start jubilating Kamto is president of the Republic of Cameroon. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup, Chief Barista Ndong Christopher. Sans oublier, lui, Bamseka, de rappeler à toutes les personnes qui nous regardent qu'effectivement, le mouvement pour la renaissance du Cameroun demande à tous ses militants et sympathisants de contribuer pour la campagne du président Maurice Kamto, de contribuer. Il y a d'ailleurs les numéros de téléphone, les contacts et tout ce qui va avec, que ce soit par la banque, que ce soit par Orange Money ou par MTN Mobile Money. Vous pouvez continuer de contribuer par un effort systématique pour la candidature du président Maurice Kamto qui, naturellement... Oui, Chief.
Thank you for that reminder. In fact, I would have left this plateau very angered if I discovered later that I didn't say this. You see, in that National Council I was talking about, it was not only giving him the opportunity to go and choose which format he will use to be presidential candidate. Also, we gave him the authority as a political party and as our leader to launch for a public collection of monies for his campaign. I have paid my own share. It's a large sum. I don't want to talk it here. I have paid. I have my receipt. So I'm calling on all Cameroonians. You know, Obama was collecting little monies in America to become presidential candidate. Send the little you have, little by little. Operate like the cooperative credit union where they say every little drop will make an ocean. Collect the money, we shall arrive a big sum of money. These monies will be deployed back. It will be plowed back into the presidential campaign. It's not money that they want to give Kamto. It's money that we are contributing so that we'll be able to buy our gadgets, we'll be able to print our posters, we're going to print our ballot papers because the government does not give sufficient. We'll have to make sure we hire services like campaign vans, publicity vans. We are on television every day, out, in and out. Please, this money is to work for presidential campaign for Professor Maurice Kamto. Contribute, don't be afraid. The money will be used properly because there is a committee in charge for that. So we shall give you an account after that. Thank you. We did it with COVID money and we gave you the account public. We are not people who chop or chop public money. No, we use public money for public action. So the contributions are going on. Please, it is going on. Contribute. The bank accounts are there. We have 7, and Orange and MTN, they are there. Their accounts are there on social on network. Yes, it is there. Find out to the nearest CRM officials of the party in the region where you are, in the locality where you are, everywhere. You just go and throw your money in the bank, hold your receipt. So that tomorrow we shall be counting you as one that helped Professor Maurice Kamto's campaign to become president of the Republic 2025.
Alors, juste rappeler, naturellement, pour sortir cet entretien, les multiples plateformes via lesquelles vous pouvez contribuer: Orange Money, MTN Mobile Money, NFC Bank, Afriland First Bank, UBA, et naturellement aussi Africa Golden Bank, je pense bien. Voilà. Par toutes ces plateformes, et naturellement, avec tous les habillages que vous voyez à l'antenne actuellement, vous pouvez contribuer. Peu importe, le montant est symbolique, le montant est important, peu importe combien vous avez contribué pour la campagne du professeur Maurice Kamto. C'est le moment du changement. Merci beaucoup, Chief Barista Ndong Christopher, d'être passé. Merci. Votre parole est rare. Vous nous avez honoré aujourd'hui.
Thank you, Mr. Romaric. In fact, it's a pleasure for me to, congratulate you for having thought of me to come and say some topical issues concerning the party, concerning the government, concerning Electoral and everything. Thank you very much. Thank you equally to Mr. Luis Bamseka. It's my first time meeting you on a platform like this. In fact, you are doing well. Thank you, Cameroonians. Vote on the October for Professor Maurice Kamto.
Merci beaucoup. Merci également à vous, Louis Bamseka. Merci d'être venu.
Thank you very much, Romaric. It was a great experience being by your side. The same panel as Entretien Verite. I enjoyed the company of Chief Barrister Christopher Ndong, Secretary General of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement. Thank you.
On espère l'avoir de nouveau sur ce plateau quand le mercure de l'élection présidentielle montera davantage. Merci également à vous de nous avoir suivis. C'est la fin de cette émission spéciale d'Entretien Vérité sur Africa Renaissance TV, émission que vous avez pu suivre naturellement de manière bilingue, et ce sera comme ça désormais. Vous aurez des programmes essentiellement bilingue sur Africa Renaissance TV pour le plus grand plaisir des Camerounais dans leur diversité. Alors, merci également à Martial Esso qui a chapeauté l'équipe de production de cette émission. On se retrouve bientôt avec un autre invité. D'ici là, continuez de suivre l'actualité sur Africa Renaissance TV, sur la télévision de la Renaissance africaine. Et naturellement, on se retrouve bientôt avec un autre invité. À très vite.